What? There is something about coming in after that. I just need to be a little more solemn coming up. You know that won't be possible. Sacred pause. Oh my gosh. I was thinking today, I love Sunday mornings because we get up very early, and that's an extra spiritual time. And for myself, and we have quite a little ritual, and I was thinking, first of all, I just want to say thank you to Reverend Dr. Rita for being so kind to give that example of the car, and she blended it as a we when it was me. And since I'm about transparency, yes, I was the one quoting and said, I don't understand. I've been in such a high consciousness all day long. And then she said, oh, and then when you're in love with someone, you can say these things. She said, well, you know, if you think about it, if you were in that higher consciousness, we wouldn't be working with that. And I go, oh my God, she's S-O-M-ing me, right? Science of minding me right here in the car. But when you have spiritual maturity, you are able to say, thank you, honey. That was wonderful. I'm back aligned now. And that's what I was thinking this morning. I was thinking, I had too many thoughts today. But one thing that happened in my sacred pause, and what makes it sacred, is that different than somebody says something to you and you hear your inner voice say, you better pause, Patrick, pause. That's different than when you go into a sacred pause and it's connected to and from that source. That spiritual, deliciousness of life that talks to you. And this morning I had all this stuff and all this information, and I said, I want to go beyond the information. What do I know and feel, or they used to say, you know, as Rita was talking about, you know, what would good say right now? And that's not bypassing anything. What would good say right now? Because something bad in our has already occurred. So to focus only on that and not to step over and say, what can I know that's even more? So I started going deeper and deeper, and I kept thinking of this scripture that said, be still and know that I am God. And I got this download, and if there's anybody going to be offended by it, well, you would already have walked out earlier if you were going to be offended by anything. Here's what happened with that. In my meditation, it said, oh, that's what Jesus was saying. Be still and know that I am God, but that's not what I interpreted it as. It was a mantra for all of us to have. It was a beautiful mantra to say, when you're in any kind of trouble, be still and remember, I am God. I am God. And we take it sometimes as Jesus had said, the master metaphysician said, you know, be still and know that I am God, and you're not. I don't believe that. I believe that we are so entangled and so at one, then how could we not always know that I am God? So that brought me back to another thing that came up. By the time I got done with my meditations and everything today, just so you'll know, totally depressed. No, I came out of this because I kept hearing this other thing about desiring and manifesting. And if you ever run through YouTube, you know, every other thing is how to manifest in 5 easy steps, 10 steps, 8 steps. We got to manifest. I'm not manifesting. Why am I not manifesting? I don't know, not spiritual enough. You know, I mean, it would be crazy making. And then I realized what our founder and many mystics have said. The reason that when we go to manifest anything, And we do manifest. But the moment when people will say, you know, I don't like the word I want, because that means that you don't have. And I absolutely agree with that. But desire is its cousin. And that's what was told to me in my little download today, meaning passion is wonderful. Well, that's what moves us. Desire is there. But I got another idea. What happens when you fulfill a desire? There's always another one to fulfill. Is there not? I hope so. I mean, we're creative geniuses. But what I realize is also when I desire to be at a place that I am not, then I am reaffirming that I am not enough. And I won't be enough until I fulfill that. And I'm thinking, that's why Ernest Holmes says, you must become the desire in which you have. Does that make any kind of sense? The desire, meaning that when I am not feeling well, or anybody here ever not feel well physically? Yes, of course. I also realize, and I say it in my treatments, we're just returning to our natural state of wellness. But if I keep thinking that I cannot be whole and complete until I am well, I think that is not the way that I particularly believe that this teaching and my life is going. When I am not feeling good, when I am down and out, I am still perfection. How can I be still and know that I am God except there? So yesterday, as we were releasing our beautiful Miss Kitty, if you're new here, that was our cat's beautiful name, I had so many revelations about life itself and about this sacred pause. Oh, that was cute. Pause, get it? No. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just blended with humor somewhere. Yeah, sacred pause. And I was thinking of our little wonderful Miss Kitty, and he wanted us to take her ashes out, and so that it was open. And I learned so much about the Native American, bringing in her ancestors, and it was just a beautiful event with the three of us, the four of us, the five of us. And he really took it into this. We had also had a cat that had died on our property, and we had buried it, and he's such a beautiful, he said, we must bring her in too. Let's bring her in. You know, Sue helped. And that, bring it in. And I just felt this expansion. I looked down at this little bag, and what I felt was, that's not Miss Kitty. I was like a little boy. I was like, that's not Miss Kitty. What'd you do with Miss Kitty? That's not Miss Kitty. That's Miss Kitty's flesh and ashes or whatever it was. And then I shifted it and we went into the cosmos. And there was Miss Kitty, man. And she said, I feel worse for you than you should be for me. And I went, say that again? She said, I feel worse for you because you're in the pain of my loss. Of your loss, or what I call our gain. But no, she was alive, and that black cat, I got this wonderful, boy, and I wasn't on anything either. It was just wonderful. I was actually seeing that, and I saw this beautiful cat that had died, and it was like, thank you. And I went, oh my God, life is good. And then I cried, and guess what also I found out, just for your information? Who likes to cry? Who tries not to cry? Yeah. Guess what I found out? Good thing you came today. It's holy water. Holy water. Oh my God. I said, what? I said, with these tears, and it's just like, when you're crying for any reason, it's the time to go, oh, look at me. Go ahead, touch my cheek, it's holy water. Oh, I'm sorry, that was a flashback to my but all kidding not aside, all of our emotions, all of our life, it all means something. That's what I found out. It means something. Everything we do, everything that doesn't feel that good, it does. We are alive with this incredible thing. There is nothing wrong with that. Oh. It was winter solstice. I said the winter solstice is nature's sacred pause, the longest night that gives birth to the returning light. Here's another FYI that I got this morning. And you say, well, why does it depress you? I can hear, why would that be depressing? It's only depressing because I spent about 5 minutes realizing that I have never lost the light. I have dimmed the light at times. I have refused the light at times. But that light has never, ever left me. In my darkest moments, it has never, ever left me. And that is reassuring to me to know that the darkness isn't something to be cursed. Within darkness is where we are in our gestation of our birth, right? We're in this incredible thing that allows us to come out into the world. When you put the seed in, it says, don't keep digging me up. I'm not ready for the light. Let me grow. Let me grow. Let me grow. I wish you could see and have a snapshot of what I see right here. The incredible amount of life that is here. The ending for me is all this time I've been seeking and seeking and searching and searching, and I've been it all along. There's a friend of mine that believes in taking it moment to moment, nobody in this room. And I always say, you can't just every day go like this and just meet the day, like whatever happens is fine. And then I got this note, I can't stand that when the universe works at it. And he was brought into my meditation. Because I wasn't really putting it down, but it was kind of judgmental in its own way. Because I think there's a part of me that was probably jealous that someone could actually meet a day and say, whatever happens, I am present. And I have the light that can handle any of it. And I went, and the reason I felt that way is because it's the truth. I don't have to want. And when I didn't have to want, I lost my identity for a minute. Because I was a seeker. Does that make sense? Seeker. You're seeking. And I went, then who am I if I'm not a seeker? I'm a finder. I'm a finder. And I went, well, what about my appointment book and my vision board and everyone, you still have all of that. So say it with me if you choose. I am a finder. I am a finder. I love being a finder. I love being a finder. I believe you, and so it is.